Chris Paul punches his ticket to the finals for the first time. Shout out to Chris Paul. After so many years of being in the NBA, he finally gets to the finals, taking down the Clippers out of all teams. You can't write this story. It's an amazing story. It comes full circle. We live in a simulation. How does this happen in Staples Center, the home that he kind of helped build for the Clippers? It's not really a home; it's still the Laker town. But Chris Paul helped build the Clippers. Chris Paul changed the face of the Clippers, made them into a relevant team. Him and Blake Griffin were a shift in direction for that franchise. They completely, them two players are responsible for how we view the Clippers now. A team that, is going to be a playoff team year in and year out, and a title contender. And, that's how we look at the Clippers now. That's not how we looked at them before. Yeah, we clown on the Clippers. We talk about how, they're the little brothers of the Lakers and they're going to choke, 3-1 lead, all that stuff. But before, they weren't even on your radar. You weren't even talking about the Clippers. They were irrelevant. Now we talk about them. They're a respected team. And Chris Paul was, he was the one that held the flag for the Clippers to put them into this position. And to punch his ticket into the NBA Finals by defeating the Clippers, that's just poetic. That's just going full circle. So I tip my hat for Chris Paul. He had a great game. He dropped 40 on them, I believe, 40 plus points. Just an amazing game. He got under the skin of Beverly, who that's his thing. And he didn't like it when Chris Paul, got the best of him, pushed him in the back. That's a weak move by Beverly. But I digress. Let's focus on Chris Paul. This is a great story. Everywhere he's gone, he's helped them become a better team. Was it when he got drafted? He made the New Orleans better. He was a great player for them. He went to the Clippers. He took him to that next level. He made them relevant. He went to the Rockets. There were one win a game from the finals. And if, D'Antoni maybe plays it a little better, if he doesn't get hurt, they should have probably won that year. They give up on him. He goes to OKC. They're projected to be the worst team in the NBA. People are calling his contract the worst contract in NBA history. And all he does is will them into the playoffs, almost upsetting the Rockets and moving on to the second round of the playoffs. So, and now he goes to the Suns, and people are just like, man, they'll be with Chris Paul and Booker. I could see the Suns maybe getting the 8th seed, maybe getting the 7th seed, 9th, missing the playoffs by a little bit. They'll probably be a playing team. Highest, maybe they get a 5th, 6th seed. All they do is get the second seed in the West. I believe the 3rd best record in the NBA or 2nd best record in all of the NBA. And now they're in the finals against the Bucks, and they are the favorites because John isn't hurt, but they're still the favorites. So Chris Paul might win a championship this year. And, all the interviews, he said that he's never lost faith, that that's not how he's built. And that's just, I believe him, because he could have easily packed it up. He could have easily, just gotten paid. He had a big contract, 4 years, 160 plus million, I believe. He was making 40 plus. He could have just called it. He could have just been like, you know what? I had a great career. I'm going to be a Hall of Famer. Everyone knows I'm one of the best point guards of all time. If I didn't win a championship, like, oh, well, like my body is kind of giving up on me. Or like I've been hurt in the postseason like these last couple years. It is what it is. I'll kind of have an excuse. Like, I could have won it, but I got hurt. All those, no one likes excuses, but he could have, played that card. He could have convinced himself. Like, it's not like, I just had bad luck. I had bad luck. They blocked my trade to the Lakers. I could have teamed up with Kobe. I got drafted in New Orleans. A lot of things he could have said to convince himself that it was fine, to call it a career, to just be happy with everything that he did. Like 10 plus times All-Star, first teamer, first ballot Hall of Fame. He could have convinced himself so easily to just been like, I had a great career, and it just wasn't meant to be. And it is what it is. Let me just collect this money, play these last 4 years of this huge contract that I did deserve, but maybe I'm a little older right now. It could have been so easy for Chris Paul to say that and just cash in, play out his last few years. Kind of do like what Al Horford is doing right now, not really getting too much playing time, but still collecting money, just sitting back. He could have been a mentor, and everybody would have probably, still clapped the little hands at Chris Paul. Oh, look, he's a good mentor. He's a good guy. Yeah, his contract is really weighing down this team, but look at him. He's still helping this point guard. He's making him better. But no, Chris Paul had that different mentality. With OKC carrying them into the playoffs, and now he's getting his dividends. He's getting what he deserves. He's in the finals. So shout out to Chris Paul. That perseverance, the never give up attitude is something that I could really, really respect. I could really try to strive and, try to hone it in for myself. Just be like Kobe, be like Chris Paul, never give up. Always move forward and strive for your best. So shout out to Chris Paul. Great story. He seems like he's a good dude. In the inside of the court, when you're playing him, he could be annoying. He could be a flopper. He could be very savvy and get you into dumb fouls. He could, he's a nuisance, but he's an elite player. So you give him a little bit of room for his tactics or semantics. But outside, he seems like he's a good guy. He donates to charity. So I am happy for Chris Paul. What do you guys think? Are you guys happy for Chris Paul? Do you guys think he's going to win a championship? Is this deserved? I'm happy for Chris Paul.